Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to install a bathroom sink drain and a P-trap. So first, as you can see, mine was all busted and it popped up, so I need to change it. So first you want to do is go ahead and take off the adjustment here, the plug adjuster stick. You want to take the bracket off. So just go ahead and pull that off. And then what we want to do is take the bottom piece off here. You might be able to unscrew it by hand. You might need to use channel locks. Since mine was so broken, I could just spin it off by hand. Then go ahead and get some sort of bowl or a plate or something to catch the water that's going to come out of the P-trap. So let's take your channel locks and go ahead and loosen up the P-trap here. And then the water is going to start coming out. So go ahead and loosen that, take it off, let the water drain out. And then what we want to do is go ahead and take off the nut that holds the adjuster stick in place. So again, you may be able to take this off by hand, but whoever the plumber was before me basically put the goo stuff on there so it didn't leak. So I had to use my channel locks. Go ahead and take that off. Take that entire piece out with the adjusting stick. Take that out. And then after that, you should be able to take that bottom piece out. And then go ahead and take the top piece out as well. So for me, it was just pop it up. And then we want to basically go in reverse order, but since there was caulk and stuff all over the bottom of the sink here, go ahead and scrape that off with a flathead, or just try and make it as smooth as you can is the goal. So that way that the new donut has a good seal. And then of course we want to do the same thing at the top as well. So go ahead and take all the gunk and whatever else is in the bottom of the sink here. Make that a nice clean assembly as well. If you can reuse your P-trap, go ahead and do it, but this P-trap, the way it was set up was not good, so I couldn't reuse it, so I'm going to actually build a new one. So I'll show you how to do that. So this particular product that I bought, the bottom of the sink drain actually screws into the actual throat part. So I'm just showing you how that works. So there's this piece here. So for this particular product too, you got to take out this thin gasket here. I don't know why they even include that, but if you leave that in there, I guarantee you it'll leak. So make sure you take that out. So there we go. We took that out, and now we should be good with no leaks. So what we want to do now is we want to test fit everything so we can make basically the P-trap. So this piece, again, as you saw, screws in by hand. So go ahead and screw it in hand tight. And then what we want to do is get under the sink and screw the P-trap in. And again, I have all these parts in the description too, so don't worry about it. It's a 1.5 inch piping basically. So screw the P-trap in, put the adapter on. This is a 1.25 inch to 1.5 inch adapter. So put that on the throat of your drain. And then what we want to do is we want to make sure that we screw this at least hand tight so you have a good gauge of how much length you need to make the ABS piping, the 1.5 inch ABS piping. So for me, that was 3 inches. There's a lot of leeway here too, so you can put the adapter up higher if you want. So for me, I'm going to do a little bit over 3 inches to make sure that it fits correctly. So go ahead and mark that. A silver pen, a silver Sharpie would be a lot better, but I just marked over the writing and it was fine. So go ahead and take your black ABS cement, put it on the inside of the adapter and the outside of the tubing here, the piping. And we want to seal those together. So what you want to do is you want to put it together and you want to twist 1/4 of a turn and you want to hold it there for 30 seconds. And so the reason behind that is because this liquid goop stuff can actually press the parts apart. So you want to press it together, make sure it's sealed and seated all the way. And then go ahead and cut on your line there so it's measured with your handsaw. You can use a file to file the burrs if you want. You really don't need to do this, but if you want to, you can. And then go ahead and use your ABS cement again and do the other side. So inside of the adapter there, the P-trap, and then on the outside of the piping. Again, put those together, twist 1/4 turn, and you want to hold for 30 seconds. After that, you want to let this dry for 2 hours, and then it'll be ready to go and the cement will be dry. Once we've done that, then we're ready to start putting everything back together. So Teflon tape, Teflon tape, Teflon tape, everything that you can. So I'm going to do this piece when you really don't need to, because the way this piece is designed, it can't leak. And you're going to be putting the throat past the leaking point anyway. 100% you want to Teflon tape this piece. I don't know why this particular product has two pieces like this, but if you don't, it will leak. So I've seen videos of it, so make sure you Teflon tape that. Teflon tape this piece as well. I don't think you really need to do this piece, but I did it anyways because just for extra security that things don't leak. And then of course you want to Teflon tape the adjuster stick area too, because that will leak if you don't put the Teflon tape on it. So go ahead and do that. And then, so this is me showing you how this piece works. So there's a seal and the actual adjuster stick goes in there, and it's curved. Both these gaskets are curved. That way it makes a nice seal in there. There you go. When you put the ball in, and then when you put the nut over it and screw it on, it should not leak, but for the extra safety, put the Teflon tape over, because actually when I did this last year on another bathroom in our house, it did leak and I didn't have the Teflon tape on it. So put the Teflon tape on it. Then what we want to do is we want to get our plumber's putty and make a nice little snake around the bottom piece of the drain and push that together. You don't need to be crazy with the plumber's putty either. I find that just kind of makes a mess when you do that. So go ahead and put that on, and now we want to put that bottom piece on with the bottom of the actual drain and screw it together, make it hand tight, and then the rest will finish up on the bottom. So don't worry about making this as tight as you can make it. So now we want to make this hand tight. Make sure that you also line up the plug adjuster with the backing there, because you're obviously, if it's not, then you're not going to be able to actually use the adjuster. Take your channel locks and make this tight. It just needs to be pretty snug. And also hold the throat. That way it doesn't move, so your adjusting stick for your plug is lined up still. And then here we go. So make sure that the back curve part is facing back towards the back of the sink. And then put the adjuster into the adjusting hole. Make sure you catch the actual hole that goes into the plug. And that way you can adjust it up and down. So make sure it adjusts up and down before you actually put the little gaskets on and tie that back and screw it back on. And then what we want to do is put the adjusting stick through the metal in the back so you can control it from the top. So put the bracket on the adjusting stick, put the stick through the other piece of metal, and then the rest of the metal bracket goes on the back of the other piece of the metal and push it through. That way you can actually adjust it from the stick at the top. Once we've done that, then go ahead and Teflon tape this piece that goes where the water goes out. And then we want to put our P-trap assembly back on. So go ahead and put it back onto the throat first. And again, this is where there's a lot of leeway, because you can just push this up and down and adjust it to make it match the rest of the P-trap. So go ahead and put the P-trap on, screw that on hand tight as you can. And then go ahead and use your channel locks and tighten it down so it's really snug. And then you're done. So let's test it. Turn the water on and then go look under, make sure there's no leaks anywhere. And so as you can see, mine looks good. Nothing is leaking. So if you are going to see leaks, they're going to be in couple of different places. It's going to be at the base here, maybe where the plug adjuster is, or where the throat connects there, or probably at the bottom of the P-trap. So if you don't have any leaks, then you're good to go and you've done it successfully. So thanks for watching.